Race 1 at Randwick on Saturday. It's a 3-year-old maiden over the 1200 metres, and I'm keen on number 1 Edison for the Björn Baker stable. This horse has been to the races once. He ran a very courageous second at Canterbury behind Belitza, tipped out for a spell. He didn't have the blinkers on in a recent trial win at Rosehill, where I thought he had a fair bit up the sleeve, but he does have the blinkers on Saturday. Karen McAvoy takes the ride. There's not a lot of speed in this race, and I think they could take the race by the scruff of the neck up on pace, and Edison will be extremely hard to catch, the big son of Fastnet Rock. The daughter of Fastnet Rock, Art Collection, I think she's the main danger, number 2 for the Hayes Dabernig Yard with James McDonald in the saddle. She looked very good winning her trial at Rosehill, coming into this, coming back off the speed and powering over top of them late. James McDonald to ride, and she is a Group 3 place getter. She started her career finishing second in the Maribyrnong Plate. Number 4, Mandela. Not sure what to make of him. Thought he was disappointing last start. Yes, he didn't get a lot of room in the straight, but he was never really travelling like the winner. He's finished 5th, beaten a length and a half behind Excellent Proposal. The winkers go back on. He's short enough, I think, but he's got ability. It's just a matter of he's getting his mind on the job. He seems a little bit coltish to me at the moment. Number 8, War Baron, 1400 back to 1200. I was hoping he'd go 1400 up to the mile, but there mightn't be that many options around, and David Payne's put the blinkers back on, bringing him back in trip, which will certainly sharpen him up, and he's a rough chance. My number's in the first, pretty keen on the 1, 1248. Race 2 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 70 over the 1200 metres for the 3 and 4-year-olds, and I think the favourite True Detective, certainly the horse to beat here. He's been to the races twice now. He won well on debut, had a spell, came back and just got beaten by Spend on a heavy 8 track at Rosehill. Tommy Berry was aboard Spend on that occasion and knocked him off. There was 4 and a bit lengths back to the third horse, which is always a good sign. He'll strip fitter for the run. Tommy Berry jumps in the saddle this time. Certainly the horse they've all got to beat. Number 3, Miss Deed. I think she's the main danger. She ran second behind Hortbury on her last start, beat home boom horse Sir Elton. She's got barrier 1, which I think is a huge plus because she races best with cover, and Karen McAvoy should just be able to smother her up from that gate and save her for the last shot at them. Number 8, Battle Guardian, impressive winner on debut at Gosford. This is harder. He's up in grade, but he's certainly got some potential. And number 5, A Lifetime Quest, has been in the Quinella at all 6 career starts, so it's hard to leave him out if you're taking a trifecta or a first 4. My numbers in race 2, 7, 3, 8 and 5. Race 3 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 88 over the 1600 metres, and the heavy track certainly suits my top pick here, Pelethronius. He's an absolute swimmer. He's had 7 starts on heavy tracks now for 5 wins and a placing, including his last 2 starts he's won. One was on a heavy 8 at Warwick Farm, and last time out on a soft 6 at Randwick. He was still too good for them when Huey Bowman found the best going out wide, and he really charged away to beat Pirate Ben and Travancore. Now Travancore franked that form during the week, bolting in at Warwick Farm, and I think on a heavy track there's only one way I can play this race, a mile heavy track, Pelethronius it is. Number 8, our Winnie. She could improve. She certainly gets in very light at the weight. She's been hitting the line hard. Hasn't won for a long time, but she's been suggesting a win isn't far away, and maybe this is the race she can do it in. Number 1, Gresham. He's on the backup from last Saturday, stepping up in trip. He ran 3rd behind Foxy Housewife. He's got barrier 1, Hugh Bowman in the saddle. You'd expect him to run well. And number 2, Sayed. He could be the knockout at big odds. I liked his trials. He's been trialling down at Maruya. He's from the Matt Dale Yard, formerly with Chris Waller. Been out of form for a long time, but maybe first up's the time to back him, particularly on soft, heavy tracks, which he loves. And he's a horse who does usually go well fresh. So if you're backing one at massive odds or you want a roughie, Sayed could be your go. My numbers in race 3, 4, 8, 1 and 2. Race 4 at Randwick on Saturday. It's the Tab Highway. It's a Class 3 over 1200 metres this week, and I'm going for a little bit of value with Zardoro. Terry Robinson trains Zardoro. He has a knack of winning these highways, and this horse is already a highway winner. He won 2 starts back at Rosehill over 1400 before a good thing licked over the 1500 on a soft 5. He's had a 6-week freshen up, so back to the 1200 looks perfect. There's a lot of speed in the race, so with a smother and a last crack at them, I think Zardoro could cause the upset. Number 7, Acquittal. James McDonald jumps on. The blinkers go on for the first time. And this horse was rolled as a $1.90 favourite first up down at Maruya, but I'm sure he'll improve sharply. The Matt Dale train, number 14, Velvet Aeroplane, beat home Acquittal in that race at Maruya. She'll have to do a bit of work to get across and lead them up here or put herself on speed, but she's won her last 2 starts. She's only lightly raced, and I think you've got to put her in the top 3. And number 5, Gumshoe, a winner of a highway, 2 starts back here at Randwick over this distance on a heavy track. So if he can repeat that dose with Jenny Duggan in the saddle, he's got to be a big chance. My numbers in a very open highway, 8, 7, 14 and 5. Race 5 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 88 over the 1200 metres. It sees the turn of Rohiran, and I think he's a good thing, although he's a good thing's price. Rohiran is back at the races. He had a soft trial at Rose Hill over 900 metres. He was never asked to do a lot, but I love the way he moved through that trial. He's a horse who's always promised so much. He's only had the 3 starts. He did win on a heavy 10 on his debut at Warwick Farm, which is a big tick considering the conditions on Saturday. And then he ran the sizzling time, bolting in at Rose Hill by 4 lengths before a surprising but excusable defeat behind Chestar at Rose Hill, back to the 1100 before he went for a spell. He's come up with barrier 1. He's on 53 kilos. Karen McAvoy takes the ride. He has been gelded during his spell, and he should just be too good for them. Number 6, Best Guess. He came back off a long break, put in a bold performance at Rose Hill over 1200 on a heavy 8 track. He'll strip fitter for that. This is a small field. He may be able to dictate to some degree, and if he does, he'll certainly take some catching. Number 3, Dissolute, backs up from last Saturday, finished 10th of 10, but don't let that put you off. He was locked up for the last couple of 100 metres and should have finished a fair bit closer to Bonhomie than he did. And the 5, Noble Joey, well, these are his sort of conditions, soft, heavy tracks, on speed. He's been freshened into this, and he could certainly sneak into the money at a bit of a price. But the 7, Rohiran, all eyes will be on him. Most of the money will be on him. Let's hope he gets the job done. My numbers, 7, 6, 3 and 5. Race 6 at Randwick on Saturday. It's the first leg of the quaddie. My quaddie numbers can be found at the end of this spiel. It's a fillies and mares, benchmark 78 over the 1800 metres. So it's certainly a tricky one to kick us off in the quaddie. I'm going to back Missy Beale here for Björn Baker. I just think she gets in very well at the weights after the claim for Jenny Duggan, who's been aboard this mare at all 3 runs this campaign. She's been hitting the line strongly over the shorter distances. She gets up to the 1800 now, 4th up. She handles all sorts of ground. She ran 2nd to Pelathronius on a heavy track 2 starts back. So I think that's the right sort of form, gets the right run, and the last crack at them here. I'm happy to gamble on the 8 in an open race. Number 10, Light Exceed for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. She's won her last 2. She was never going to get beaten at Canterbury last start over the 1550. She should lead them up here, and if she can run out in the 1800, she'll be extremely hard to catch. Number 1, Attention Run. She won a slogging go at her first Australian start over the mile here at Randwick on a heavy 9. So the extra 200 should suit. She's got to carry a bit of weight even with the claim, but she's probably still got upside to her and she'll be extremely competitive. Number 3, Tory Joy, interesting runner. She just bungled the start there last start. She almost went to sleep in the gates with the earmuffs on. So the earmuffs have come off and she was flying up until then, doing it from the front. So if she can jump cleanly, find the front, she can obviously turn that form around without surprising. My numbers in race 6, 8, 10, 1 and 3. Good luck if you are going to play the quaddie at Randwick on Saturday. These are my quaddie numbers. First leg, 8, 10, 1, 3, 9. Second leg, 2, 8, 5, 4. Third leg, 7 and 6. Final leg, 11, 10, 2, 5 and 1. There are 200 combinations in that quaddie, so use the tab Flexi betting option to best suit your budget, and good luck with your Randwick quaddie on Saturday. Race 7 at Randwick on Saturday, an open handicap over the 1300 metres, and I'm tipping the Godolphin-owned Haunted. Haunted went around in the Ramornie last start, a listed race, and he was unlucky. He missed the kick, he had a lot of traffic to get through, and he weaved his way along the inside in a blanket finish, but ended up getting beaten a length and a half. It was a race of hard luck stories. It certainly hasn't thrown out a stack of winners yet, but it's reliable enough form for a race of this nature. And the key, I think, to Haunted is getting back to a soft, heavy track, which is really his forte. He loves it. He's a swimmer. And with those conditions, big track, 1,300 metres, he should just be too good for them. I thought number 8, Bangkok, she just keeps flying under the radar. She handles all sorts of going. She's the last start winner over 1,400 here. And I think she's better placed back to 1,300. She has no weight, and I think she'll be competitive. The 5, Milkman, first start in Australia, former French Entire. And he's been trialling really well. He's been trialling sharply. He's got the blinkers on. He's got soft track form back in France, which is certainly good enough to get through a heavy track here at Randwick. So keep him very safe. And number 4, Fortensky, he's had the 2 runs back from a spell. He's been placed at both of them. And he's backing up from last Saturday where he finished second behind Foxy Housewife. My numbers in race 7, 2, 8, 5 and 4. Race 8 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 78 over the 1800 for the Colts and Geldings, and Cyber Intervention, I think, has found the perfect race. He's had the 2 runs back from a spell over the 13 then 1500 metres, both on his favoured going, which is soft or heavy. He's attacked the line on each occasion, finishing second, but he now gets on to Randwick. He gets out to the 1800. He's had a tick-over trial in between, and this just looks perfect for him. The last time he raced at Randwick, the only time he's been at Randwick, it was over a mile, and he just ate up the Randwick 1600. So the 1800 really does look right up his alley. I'm keen on number 7, Cyber Intervention. He's got a slightly tricky gate if you're looking for a negative, but we're getting a decent enough price to take the gamble on him. Number 6, Costello. I think he's the main danger. His second up run here on a soft track over this distance was very good behind Dr. Drill. The heavy track won't be a problem. He's got a lovely gate, and he looks the main danger. Number 10 for third, Ula Saba, coming off a midweek win at Canterbury on a soft 5. He's certainly taken some time to hit his straps this prep, but he seems to be right there now, and from barrier 1, Rachel King in the saddle, you can just see him getting all the favours in the run. And the 2, Primitivo, well, he's drawn out as well, but he generally gets back. So with James McDonald in the saddle, I'm tipping he'll be out the back, hoping for a bit of carnage up front and get the last shot at them. My numbers in race 8, 7, 6, 10 and 2. Race 9 at Randwick on Saturday. The lucky last is a benchmark 78 over the 1400 metres. The punters will be cheering if the Party Girl can get home over top of them for David Pfeiffer. This mare was scratched from Wednesday to be saved for this harder race. She's certainly going really well for the new stable. She handles these soft and heavy tracks perfectly. She was a last start second behind Bangkok in a harder race, I thought, than this one she meets on Saturday. Barrier 2, Karen McAvoy to ride, and her form at 1400. She's had the 3 starts at 1400. She's never missed a Quinella, and I think she's really good value down in the weights to cause a minor upset in the last. Number 10, Judge Judy for Kim Moore and Brent Navdullah. She'll make her own luck up near the speed. She handles soft going. She's had 15 career starts and been in the Quinella on 10 occasions, so she's very reliable and she should run well. Number 2, Thy Kingdom Come, second up off a spell, will certainly strip fitter for his first up 5th, behind Handle the Truth and Oxford Tycoon, and Hugh Bowman takes the ride. The extra distance suits. And number 5 goes in for 4th, Jack Sparr. Not sure how he'll handle a step from 12 to 1400, but he's honest. He's coming off 2 from 2 on soft going, and his last start 3rd behind Handle the Truth is certainly the right sort of form coming into this race. But I'm keen on the Party Girl, and she'll be cheering if she can win the last. 11, 10, 2 and 5.